doing there? What are you doing there?
We are helping audit those firms and
what, the local firms?
Yes.
Or the global firms that have a presence there?
Both.
Are you there because of the local people, or are you there because of the global firms who you structure in such a way so that they have a presence there?
To support both.
So 98 of the FTSE 100 companies have a subsidiary in a tax haven.
Yeah, that's a misleading statistic from ActionAid, and it's actually wrong. And the reason it's wrong, let me start off, is the biggest tax haven they allege is Delaware, which is one of the states of the US. All Delaware companies, like all US companies, are liable to US federal tax at 35%.
Right, actually we found the figures. It's wonderful, the internet.
Excellent.
Occasionally. You've got 160 people in the Cayman Islands with a population of 56,000. What are they doing? 160 staff.
Well, they won't be doing tax work.
Very highly paid people.
It'll be auditing and...
auditing what?
The financial institutions there and the funds which have their sort of top structure there. Many hedge funds, as you may know, have a Cayman Island company at the top of that hedge fund.
Well, it doesn't surprise me at all that you've got 160 people, frankly. I used to live in the Cayman Islands when I was a student, and
I visited it.
I spent 3 months working for the Government Water Project Office, knocking on doors, asking people how often they flushed their loo, only to be told that they didn't have one. But that's I digress. But what was very clear to me was, even then, when there was only a population of 20,000, this was in the early 80s, there were over 500 banks there. It's probably significantly more than that now, and many other companies and law firms. And so that you'd have 160 people, I have to say, doesn't surprise me very much at all. It's also the richest place in the Caribbean, with a very high standard of living and a high standard of education as a result of all the activity of all the people who've gone there.
What I put it to you is that you're there to support those global companies, and sometimes UK-based companies, in ensuring that their taxable business is located in a tax haven. That's what you're there for, to help support that.
I don't think that tax haven structures that you've been referring to before are a peculiarity of US multinationals and the way in which US law is designed to do it. And I think, as Mr. Nicholson said, under UK law, and it's both the new law we've got dealing with foreign companies and also the old one, you cannot escape UK tax if you have no presence in a location. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, Panorama showed just the other day, this point Mr. Mitchell raised, of all these companies over there, I think they found somebody who had 12,000 directorships. I mean, you know, the whole brass plate syndrome. My question about this goes back to something I asked earlier. In terms of the ethics of your organisation, would you recommend a company sets up a structure there, even though they have absolutely no staff, no presence, and it's a brass plate operated possibly by some of these 160 people that you employ there? Would you recommend that a UK company uses such a structure?
No.
No.
There are lots of Cayman Island companies.
Do UK companies use tax havens?
I do not believe.
Do your clients use tax? Do your UK clients use tax havens?
Some UK clients will definitely use tax havens.
So why did you say that? It's been well
would.
reported in the press. Why did you say that figure of 98 out of the FTSE 100 company? You actually said it's wrong. Why did you say it was wrong?
It's an ActionAid report.
It is. And when you look at it, the largest number of supposed tax havens are people using Delaware companies in the United States, which by US federal law pay tax at 35%. That is not a tax haven. The second biggest number of companies are people based in the Netherlands. We know that the Netherlands has some privileged tax regimes, some low tax regimes. Its basic rate's about 25%. It regards itself not as offering as tax havens, but essentially offering facilities to business to base employment and jobs there and development there. And then the third one is Ireland. And again, you probably know that US multinationals use Ireland a great deal. They directly employ about 5% of the Irish workforce, and indirectly probably another 15%. Without that contribution, Ireland would probably be even more trouble than it is.
So I actually accept that, and in fact used to work for it, visited Delaware quite a lot in the past. So I understand that point, but what I'd like to know is how many of the FTSE 100 companies have subsidiaries in the tax havens, like the ones the chair, not EU countries, not Delaware, but the ones that the type of places that the chair was outlining, the Channel Islands, the Isle of Man, the Cayman Islands, Bermuda.
You've got a presence in the British Virgin Islands.
So how many of the you've obviously analysed this data. How many of the FTSE 100 companies have subsidiaries in countries that I think people in the room would regard as primarily there to be tax havens? How many?
Well, places like the Isle of Man and Guernsey are commonly used by multinationals for something called captive insurance. And that is a process where the multinational insures some of its risks and then places that risk in the general reinsurance market. And in order to have access to that, you need to approach it through an insurance company.
Why do they do it there? Why would they want to do that in the Isle of Man?
Because the regulatory aspects in the UK are so onerous that a wholly owned insurance company cannot easily
Mr.
operate.
Dodwell, don't be naive. They do it to avoid tax.
You're a tax expert, and you appear to know a lot about this. So, are you saying this is entirely a matter for
Can I just say, the profits of those captive insurance companies are specifically taxed back in the UK under the Controlled Foreign Company.
It depends what...
It's definitely...
Hold on, sorry. We must get that comment. Isn't the recent change in Controlled Foreign Company legislation, won't the effect of that be to not have that tax in the UK?
It will if the risks they are insuring are wholly outside the UK. It will not be the case if they are insuring UK-based risks. If they're insuring UK-based risks, the profit will be directly taxed in the UK.
Okay.